Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're looking at HOLYBANG's Honey J versus Coca and Butter's Rihey from the first season of Street Woman Fighter. Now, this is the very last battle that I have out of all the ones I've watched. I've watched all of them that I could get my hands on, that's legally on YouTube for me where I live. And man, it's a little bittersweet that I'm kind of finishing up the battles, you know, of season 1 here. I know there's others in the future, but just the core 1v1s here, it's really cool that we've made it this far. And I'm excited to dive into the dance ranks and the K-pop and the mega crew, the whole shebang. Very excited about it. I have not seen these battles, like I've mentioned before, so not only will I be giving my feedback as I watch, I will also be taking a guess of who I think. It's okay. So let's go ahead and let's take a look.
Ready, fight! Drop it. Spin it.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Wow! Wow, she's really attacking the music in different ways that we've seen her up until this point, which is really fun. And part of it just comes from, you know, the quality of the opponent that you're against a lot of times influences some of your risky choices that you make, which is super cool. Great round from Rihey. Here we go, Honey J. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Wow, that was fun. I love the hug at the end. That was fun. Okay, let's take a look at this. Rihey freaking popped off here. Out of all the rounds, this was my favorite round of hers by a long shot. That was awesome. This was great. Just how she chose to pop off and so many choices she made I have not seen her make before, which was really cool. Ooh. Just her flow, just like look, even before she hits that da-da-da-da-da-da, and notice that she didn't like flow it, she broke it up into the respective joints, and that's how you get that da-da-da-da-da, because you hear the song, it's not going ah, it's a da-da-da-da-da-da, so there's like that small choppy break, so she wanted to chop up her wave, and that really helped here. But just notice like her flow, she really let her body vibe and rock and melt in any direction that was happening, and it worked so well in her favor here. Yeah, and how she went boom and she attacked it, pushing to another part. You know, so she's hitting some, like, you know, whenever you see choreographers do freestyle, like they're hitting certain grooves, you know, but how she's hitting them are very full and she's committing to it. And I think that's another big thing in freestyle is you have to commit to what you're doing. You can't just do a move for the sake of doing the move, right? So I think that's something that Rihey definitely has a sense of understanding, which is her ability to just be able to really hone in and attack her music, regardless if she knows it or not, you know? So I think I love that hit that out with the switch. That was fun. And I've also mentioned too, do I think like her transition are as clean as what we've seen? No, but I think like that's okay though in this sense, especially who she's against. I think she has more wiggle room to not like to sacrifice some other things that she's normally had a good strength for, depending on who your opponent is and what their scope is as well. I love this switch here that she did. Like that was really nice and stoic, different pocket, which was really fun. Now we've seen her do this kind of lean back and then she ends up going around, but she travels it, which makes it different, which is fun. And very powerful. That little that vibration down was sick. So she had a lot of really nice pop-off moments. That little around into here, that was really fun. I will say that she is entertaining that second position groove and how she's holding her posture a little bit more here than in other sets. So she's setting up a lot of things here and like kind of tucking, body rolling, transitioning, moving to and fro. So I think that's really, it's you know, sometimes you do that, you know, but her range is really good, and I think her attire really helps her here. She went ding, ding. So how she's hitting things is very in that aggressive, using the chest a lot, but she's making different choices, which is good. I love the groove. She's still going through the end, but she's vibing out near the end, which is really fun. This sounds like a remix. I don't think I've ever heard this remix of I'ma Be. I like her setup that she does here. So she waited until the song dropped. So that whole beginning was really nice though, whenever she waved it, as well establishing herself, come back. But I wanted us to notice that I'ma be, and then she's gonna hit it again. Right, and I think that's one of my notes that I've mentioned before. Whenever you see somebody go, I'ma be, like that's a choreographic brain, you know. And I know with Honey J, I know she's known as a choreographer, right? I think most of the people here are known. Of course, there's probably a crew or two that has way more battle experience than others, but I would consider Honey J a choreographer who freestyles, not the other way around. And you can tell based on some of her choices. So I would say here, she's not utilizing this rock or her flow nearly as much as I feel like she could. She's also, whenever she's hitting and approaching with her feet, she's not committing to her grooves or committing to her choices as much as Rihey was. And I think that's my biggest like difference you're able to see between the two. I like her choices of jumping, but she's holding an ambidextrous moment where she's going right and left, or two to the right and two to the left, you know. But I like that choice there. It was a little bit of like a little lock-in moment, which was cool, and you can do that on this beat, which is nice. But also I like the choices that she's trying to make. She's taking some risks here, which is good. But notice that her balance is kind of the same as she tries the different stuff. Like she has one groove on autopilot where something else is happening, which sometimes you do what you got to do when you're trying to grow the polyrhythms of your own style. So totally understand that. I like her attempt at having to take her head and bring it around, and then also into the chest, and then making it move into the hips. That was nice, that hip boom. And then she went into a, I think for some of this, let me see, I think for some of her movement, some of her tone wops aren't super clear. Yeah, like, or not, they weren't really tone wops, forgive me, but they were more like crisscrosses with a little bit of a twisting of the heel. I feel like some of her movements maybe just a tad bit more sporadic on the lower half, as I feel like they could have been. But honestly, they both did a good job. You know, they're making different choices. They weren't overly repetitive, and I always think that that's an A+ in progress in freestyle. You know, I like a little moment, a little with the hip dip. You know, kept going through their timer. And the turnaround, and I love the cordialness at the end. Like for me, I'm like, great way to finish the battles for me. Yeah, okay, if I were to take my pick would be Rihey, because I've already seen her a couple times before. What I really liked about this set in particular, like I've already mentioned, I think this one's my favorite of hers, because I think her variety was different, her pocket choices were different, her postures were different. I will say that just a couple notes, she had her legs in like a second position, so like a wider stance, a little bit longer than she normally would in these choices. She was still very stable. Her transitions weren't as clean as they have been in other sets, but she made really great vibration choices, waving choices. She really matched her music well, and I think that she really honed in on the musicality a little bit more in a complex way than Honey J did on hers. So that's kind of my overall who I would pick. But man, I'm really glad I was able to watch it. This has been great. So thank you guys so much for watching. We did it. We got through all the season 1 battles, to my knowledge at this point, for before dance ranks, before everything else. Like the very first couple episodes of battles is really what I was able to finally get through, which is super cool. I'm excited to watch the rest of what, you know, Street Woman Fighter Season 1 has to offer. I got a lot to catch up on if I'm trying to keep them in line together, you know, but I'm very excited about it, and I can't wait to keep sharing with you guys. It's going to be great, and, you know, I will catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.